Good morning, students. Last class we have seen about the factors of affecting transpiration. Today we are going to see about the root pressure, uptake of minerals, transportation of minerals, etc. First we are going to see about the root pressure. What is called root pressure? Minerals are taken from the soil through xylem tissue, which increases the pressure of the xylem. That is called as root pressure. So this root pressure which leads to push water to some extent, that is upward movement, that is called as to some extent means from the root to some extent, understand? So that is called as root pressure. Then second one is uptake of minerals. So the root does not take all minerals, understand, because of they absorbed by means of passively the water, but minerals, all minerals are cannot passively absorbed by the roots. The minerals which are having charged either positive or negative, we are called as ions. They cannot move through the cell membrane, understand? The concentration is lower than that of the root, that is by means of active transport they absorb the minerals. So you have already known what is the meaning of active transport, that is which needs energy. The energy molecules are which are nothing but ATP. So that is called as transpiration pull. From the root the branches or the stem absorb the minerals by means of transpiration pull, by means of, that is actually we are called as active transport, understand? Then next one is translocation of minerals. What is the meaning of translocation? Translocation means the synthesized food or mineral or whatever may be entirely transported to a particular place, we are called as translocation. The location is transferred, that is called as translocation. Here the translocation of minerals are remobilized from the older dying leaves to younger leaves, which takes place in the deciduous plants only. What's the meaning of deciduous plants? The plants which shed their leaves, we are called as deciduous plants, understand? Potassium, sulfur, nitrogen, phosphorus, these are easily mobilized from the dead and dying leaves to the younger leaves, understand? But the calcium does not easily remobilized, understand? The next one is phloem transport. The food is synthesized by the leaves are transported from the leaves to the stored part or used part, we are called as transport or translocation of food, understand? So the phloem transport from a source to a sink, that is sink. The source, that is the leaf and a sink, and that a part needs to store the food or utilization of the food, that is called as phloem transport, which takes place through sieve tubes and sieve plates which are present in the phloem elements, understand? So since the source link relationship variable, that is called as bidirectional, that is the movement of food material is upward and downwards, In contrast, the xylem only we are called as unidirectional, because they have only the upward movement, but the phloem is bidirectional, the movement is upwards and downwards. Then translocation of sugars, understand? The translocation takes place by means of pressure flow hypothesis. So the glucose prepared at a source of photosynthesis, and the glucose is converted into sucrose. The sucrose moves to the companion cell, then phloem sieve tube cell by means of active transport. This process produces a hypertonic condition. Hypertonic. What is the meaning of hypertonic? The solution having above the normal level, that is the ions are the normal above the normal level, we are called as hypertonic solution. The pH is more, that is called as hypertonic. So the sugar coming, that is glucose and sucrose, moves into the cells where it is utilized and stored by means of the osmotic process. Understand? As sugars are moved, the osmotic pressure decreases, the water moves out of the phloem. Then ascent of sap. What's the meaning of ascent of sap? The upward movement of water and minerals from different parts. Different parts is called as ascent of sap. So it takes place in the following step. First one is root pressure. Water from the soil enters the root. That's due to osmosis, you already known. Root pressure is responsible for movement of water and minerals to upwards. Second one is capillary action. So water or any liquid arises in a capillary tube because of physical factors, that is called as capillary action. The capillary action, the water rises up to into a certain height of the stem. Then third one is adhesion and cohesion. The adhesion and cohesion of water molecules is a continuous column in the xylem and phloem. Xylem and phloem forces by means of cohesion of water molecules. Then next one is adhesion. Adhesion means the force attraction between the molecules of water. Between the water molecules of water is called as adhesion. Understand? Then transpiration pull. So what's you already know, I think. Transpiration pull means the transpiration takes place through stomata. And then due to transpiration there will be a vacuum is created. Vacuum is created and the xylem absorbs the water and it passes to a great height even in the highest plants. That is called as transpiration pull. The next one is blood. What is called blood? It is also called as a vascular tissue, liquid tissue, transporting tissue. The only liquid tissue in our body is nothing but the blood. It is a circulating fluid. It is red colored connective tissue. Understand? So liquid tissue, vascular tissue and connective tissue. What are the components of blood? The blood contains plasma and that is blood cells. The blood cells we are called as formed elements. Understand? What is called plasma? The plasma is a circulating fluid. It is slightly alkaline, contains cellular components, and it contains the organic components which are glucose, urea, enzymes, hormones, minerals, etc. Understand? The formed elements are nothing but the red blood corpuscles or erythrocytes, WBC, white blood corpuscles or leukocytes, and platelets, blood platelets. So you will see one by one. RBC are erythrocytes. They having hemoglobin pigment, so that is why red in color. Their lifetime is 120 days. The mature RBC does not have nucleus because more amount of oxygen is binding in RBC. There will be no nucleus in mature RBC. Understand? Then WBC are leukocytes, white blood corpuscles. They are irregular in shape. Then no hemoglobin pigment. That is why colorless. They are present in the bone marrow, spleen, thymus, and they exhibit amoeboid movement. Understand? Because they are function as a police force of the body. Whenever the whenever the germ enter in our body, it changes their shape according to the germs inside the body, and then it wholly engulf. Understand? So that's why we are called as police force of the body. The WBC are broadly classified into granulocyte and agranulocyte. So granulocyte means the granules which are present in the cytoplasm, we are called as granulocyte. If the granules are absent, we are called as agranulocyte. Understand? The granulocyte is further classified into neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil. The neutrophil is lobed nucleus. Lobed nucleus, they have 60 to 65% in our body, majorly occupied by the neutrophil, because their number is increased during our body's incretion or inflammation. So inflammation means swelling. Understand? So நமக்கு எப்பயாவது நோய் வருது இல்லை எங்கேயாவது ஒரு பார்ட்டில் வந்து கொஞ்சம் swelling இருந்தால் இது வந்து giving immune power. Understand? Then that is next one is eosinophil 2 to 3%. Understand? So this formed due to during allergic condition. Understand? Or it brings about the detoxification. Then basophil, this also 5 to 10%. So this also inflammation. It produces chemicals during inflammation. Then lymphocyte. Then agranulocyte is further classified into lymphocyte and monocyte. The lymphocyte producing antibody, which is very important. So whenever the germ or microbes, whatever may be, enter in our body, it produces antibody and kills the germs. Then next one is monocyte. Monocyte, it engulfs the bacteria and virus. Understand? The whole germ, the bacteria and virus engulfed by monocyte. Then third one is platelets. They are small, colorless, they have no nucleus. Understand? Their life period is 8 to 10 days. It involved a very important function, that is blood clotting. With the help of vitamin K, it involved the blood clotting. Suppose there will be no blood clotting, that will be leads to death. That is a continuous flow of blood. Then functions of blood. What are the functions of blood? It transport the respiratory gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide, and it transports the digested food from the intestine to all parts of the body. It also transports hormones whichever the cell needs, and it also excrete and the nitrogenous products, the ammonia, urea, uric acid. Fourth one is it protection. It protect the body against a disease. Then it acts as a buffer to regulate the pH and body temperature, and also it maintains the proper water balance of the body. Then blood vessels. What are the blood vessels? Arteries, veins and capillaries. The arteries are nothing but thick-walled. They are taking only oxygenated blood without, the exemption is pulmonary artery which carries deoxygenated blood. They are thick-walled. The veins are nothing but thin-walled. They collect the deoxygenated blood from the entire body. The exemption is pulmonary vein. Then the capillaries are small branched arteries which reunite to form the veins or venules. Then differences between the artery and vein. The arteries are thick-walled because the arteries push the blood, supply the blood to whole part of the body. The veins are thin-walled. The arteries are pink in color, veins are red in color. The arteries are deep in location, whereas the veins are superficial in location. The arteries are called distributing vessel because they are distributing blood all over the body, whereas the veins collected the deoxygenated blood from the different parts of the body. That's why called as collecting vessels. The arteries always carries oxygenated blood except pulmonary artery, whereas the veins always carries deoxygenated blood, whereas pulmonary vein. They are having internal valves, but the internal valves are absent in vein. Thank you, students. We will see later.